Welcome to another TechHelp video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today is part 2 of my security flaw video series, where we discuss a glaring security problem with Microsoft Access when it comes to linked tables. Even if your backend has a password, if your front end doesn't, it's easy to get at that data. So today, we're going to show you how to fix that. All right, so here I have my split database with the password. The backend has a password on it. And what we're going to do is we are going to, let me get rid of this one here. Let's go into the front end file. And I am once again going to delete all of these objects out of here. So now we no longer have any references to them. If I try to open up a form now, it's going to say, can't do it because it can't find that table, right? So what we have to do is, we have to say, okay, when I go to open up the customer form, when the form loads, I'm going to connect to that database, specify the connection string with the password, make that connection, and then when the form is closed, it will just clear that connection. And there's no linked table involved. It's a record set in the form itself. Okay? First thing, we have to set up our connection string. I'm going to put this in a global module. And I'm going to put it right about here. I'm going to declare it as a global constant. All right, global constant. Where are you? There you are. Global. That means the whole database can use it. It's a constant, so it doesn't change. Yeah, I got a whole separate video on constants. You can go watch that if you want to. I'll put a link to it down below. Here's the value, the constant name. I want to say the variable name. The constant name is connect string, and here is my connection string. Let me close this. We don't need it right now. This is the connection string. It's got to be in this format. Okay, if you're connecting to Access, it's msaccess semicolon, your password pwd semicolon, database equals, and then the full path to your backend file, just like that, exactly as it appears. If you don't know what that is, you got to go find it. Here's my folder. It's right up here. There it is, right? And there's the fe.accdb. That's my front end, and the be is the backend. Okay, so that's the connection string that Access is going to use. Now, is it a security concern that the password's there in plain text? Not really, because you're going to be distributing an ACCDE file, right, an encrypted execute-only file, that they won't be able to just easily find that password. I mean, yeah, could they go in with a sector editor and try to find? Yeah, okay, they could. You can hash this or encrypt this in other ways. You could use, ASCII codes there's all kinds of ways you can hide this better. But this is going to keep 99.9% of everybody out of figuring out what your password is, especially if it's something weird. If you make it something like that, all right, then that's going to be even harder to find. Okay, so there's that. Save it. Now we're going to go over to our customer form. This is the guy we're trying to open, design view. Now right now it's bound to a table that doesn't exist. So you're going to see all these little green little dot thingies there because it says, hey, I can't find this stuff. So go to the form properties. Go to data, find customer T, and just delete it. This is now an unbound form. Okay? That means if I save this and close it and open it back up again, it's going to say, I have no idea who you're talking about. Okay? So when this form opens, it's going to make a connection to the customer table and just store that in memory. Don't actually make a table out of it. So we're going to go back to the form properties, go to event, find the onload event, ... That puts us right in here with the onload event. Okay? Now, the first thing we need is a record source object, as well as a database connection object. And I'm going to put those as form level objects. So they're going to be outside of all the subs right here under your option explicit. Right there. Form level objects. We're going to declare a database and a record set. And these objects will exist at the form level. So in other words, they will exist as long as this form is open. So when the form loads, we're going to initialize them. And when the form unloads or closes, we're going to destroy them. Okay, but they're declared up here outside of all the subs. Okay, now inside your form load, we're going to put 3 lines. And I'm just going to copy and paste them because you don't really want to see me type, do you? There they are. Okay, set DB, that's our database object, equals open database. And this is the syntax that you're going to use with a connection string that we already specified. And I put it in a global module because you can use it with multiple forms then. Okay? These are just some options, if it's read-only, whatever, but this is what you need to do here. Ignore the name, because the name is specified in the connection string. Okay, that's going to return a database object. Now we're going to open a record set in that database. Whatever table or query you want to open, put there. Okay, yes, this can also be an SQL statement. All right, and we're going to open it as a dynaset. This is new. I didn't cover this in the record set TechHelp video, because you don't need it if you're opening up a local table or even a linked table. But if you're using a connection string like this, you have to specify either a dynaset, which is editable, or a snapshot, which is not, which you'll use for like reports and stuff. Okay, once you've got that record set object, then we're going to say set me.recordset. That means the record set for this form, which is me, set it equal to that record set that we just returned. And now the form will be pointing to this guy. Okay? Now, that initializes all this stuff. When the form unloads, we have to destroy all this stuff, free up that memory, right? So come over here, drop down load, and find unload. This is the form unload event. And we're going to put in there this stuff. Right there. This is all easy stuff, right? On error, resume next, because if you get any error messages while the form's open, these things might be destroyed without you thinking about it, right? So these might throw errors if that happens. It's rare, but it can happen. This just covers that, covers your butt, right? So close the record set, close the database, set it equal to nothing, set it equal to nothing, free up the memory, which should be freed up anyways when the form closes, but this just makes sure. Okay? All right, ready? Save it, debug, compile, everything should be good. Close it. Close it, close it, ready, open it, and there you go. Look at that. This form now opened. It made the connection to the backend database using VBA code. It created a record set. It linked directly to it. You can come in here now. You can make modifications. This is an editable record set. You can go between the records, right? And then when you're done, you close it, and it frees up that memory. And there's no linked table, so there's no security risk here. This works whether you're dealing with a linked backend Microsoft Access file. It works with online SQL Server, local SQL Server. There are some minor tweaks that you have to do to get it to work with SQL Server. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Now, there are some other issues with some more complicated forms and stuff that you might have to be aware of. And we will talk about that in the extended cut for the members. The first thing is continuous forms. If you got a continuous form, there's one other little thing you got to be aware of, and I'll show you how to do that. And also open arguments, like how we have the contacts, right? You want to open the contacts for a specific customer. You got to know how to use open arguments to open up this form for just that customer. And we'll talk about that in the extended cut as well. And beyond that, I actually have put together a complete template that has lots of stuff that's not covered here. For example, I'll show you how to set up subforms, combo and list boxes, reports, which reports actually require a totally different technique using temporary tables. And I cover that in the explainer video for this template. It's all easy to call packaged procedures. With a full explainer video, it works with Access and SQL Server backends, and you can find more information about this template here at Unbound Forms. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my security seminar. This covers locking down your front end as much as possible. And it includes setting up security inside your front end database, user and group security, workflow, who has access to what objects and stuff like that, setting up a system log, and lots and lots and lots more. So check that out as well. But members, stick around for the extended cut. I'll show you how to use the technique that I just showed in continuous forms and open arguments. As a reminder, members, silver members and up, get access to all of my extended cut videos, all of them, not just this one, all of them. And gold members can download these databases, and you get access to the code vault. So that's really cool stuff. But that'll do it. That's going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something about the security flaw and how to get around it with an unbound form. It's a little bit extra work, but in the long run, it really creates a cool database because now you can distribute it and you can specify the data source right in your code. You could even specify it by sending a user a value, like a custom password just for them, and say, here, type this in, and you can connect with your code that way. All kinds of stuff you can do with this, folks. But That's your Tech Help video for today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. A special thank you and shout out to our diamond sponsor, Juan Soto with Access Experts Software Solutions. They're manufacturing experts specializing in Microsoft Access and SQL Server. Juan is a 13-time Microsoft Access MVP. Check them out at accessexperts.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free Tech Help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access, and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos. plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any TechHelp questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for TechHelp questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.